So, UFC 271 this weekend. For me in Sweden, it will be in the middle of the night. I think the event will start around 3 or 4. Hopefully I will be able to set the alarm and go up around 6 or 7 to catch the co-main event and the main event. Which is also what I will be breaking down in this video. I won't do the whole card because I will be sitting here for like 4 hours and that won't be... Yeah, I think we will just go for the main card and the co-main event. Main event, of course, Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker. Their second meeting. Last time Whittaker was the one with the belt. Now it's the opposite. Now it's Adesanya with the belt. So we will see what will happen. I think it will be a close fight. Co-main, 2 heavy hitters, Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa. Most likely that fight won't go to decision, and this time I won't say that, well, I won't promise that it won't go to decision, because last time I kind of jinxed it when I said that. But both fighters are strikers. Both fighters like to end the fight early with big bombs, and that will probably be what will happen here too. Lewis has a record of 26-6 and Tuivasa has a record of 14-1. In the last fights, both have 4 wins and 1 loss. Derek lost to Cyril Gane, and we all know how good of a striker Cyril is. So that is it's a loss, but Cyril is really good. Tuivasa lost to Sergey Spivak for like 5 fights ago, and it was by arm triangle, I think, on the ground submission. And that's also what both guys have as a... Well, if their striking is their advantage, the ground game is their disadvantage. But I don't think we will see any ground game in this fight. It will highly surprise me if something goes to the ground, unless it will be by a knockdown and ground and pound. Tuivasa, I would say, is the more technical striker, while Lewis is the one who carries more power. With that said, Tuivasa carries a lot of power too, and they're both very equal in the way of fighting. So this fight can end either way. But I think, if I needed to make a prediction, I think that Lewis will be the one who takes this by KO in the first or second round. Mostly because I think he's the fighter who have fought stiffer competition before this. And yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tuivasa wins and we will get to see another shoey. So to the main event then. Here is a bit more to break down. I do think it will be a close fight. Adesanya, of course, is the better striker of the two. With that said, Whittaker is a good striker and is the more well-rounded, I would say. He has better wrestling and better grappling, while Adesanya has way better striker. Well, is a way better striker than Whittaker is. So here is some things I think I can break down and discuss. Adesanya's record is 21-1, while Robert Whittaker is 23-5, kind of equal. Last loss Adesanya had was against Jan Blachowicz, but that was in a higher division and a higher weight class. Well, high division, I mean high weight class. He went up to light heavyweight and tried fighting there and lost to Blachowicz, which is a bigger fighter. So, but in middleweight he is undefeated. Robert Whittaker's last defeat was against Adesanya, so he has racked up 5 back-to-back wins until he got this next title shot. The key here for, if we start with Whittaker, will be, can he close the gap and take Adesanya down? Because I think with Whittaker, for me, he has always been a fighter I have underestimated, and he time and time again has surprised me. And for every fight he has made, for every fight I think he has become a better version of himself and a better fighter. So he is constantly improving, and I think this and it will be the same here. And he will probably have looked at Blachowicz blueprint to beat Adesanya too, and that was to take it to the ground. Thing is that Blachowicz is much bigger than Whittaker is, so the key here is, or the question mark here is, can he close the distance, get in and get his hand on Adesanya and get it to the ground? If he can, I think he can actually control the fight on the ground, because he has a better grappling and better wrestling, and can probably ride out the decision, because I know he has a good cardio too. But this is a big if. Adesanya, at the other hand, is a very, very technical striker, and he is on nearly the same as Anderson Silva was back in the days. He has a way of moving, he has a way of finding distance, pick his shots, precise, everything, and is head and shoulders above most fighters in UFC when it comes to striking. And I don't think his game plan will be much different than last time. He will move and use his speed and movement to outstrike Whittaker and try to counter and end it as soon as he can. Probably, if it will, he will probably end it in the second or third round if it goes by his game plan, I think. Thing is, though, as I said, Whittaker always seemed to be better for every fight, and he is a smart fighter, so he will probably come in with a much better game plan now. Last time it looked like he wanted to prove a point and strike with Adesanya, and he paid for it. And I think this time it will be a different way of approaching Adesanya. But can he implement his game plan? That is the big question. So, prediction: Adesanya by KO in the second or third round. I like Whittaker, and I might do the same mistake again to underestimate him. But I think that Adesanya is way too much of a problem. For me, he is this era's Anderson Silva, and his striking is so much better than the guys in his division that I think not only Whittaker will have a problem, most guys in the division will have a problem with him. And yeah, but if Whittaker take this, I think it will be by decision and by controlling the ground for 5 rounds. But as I said, my big prediction for this fight is Adesanya by KO. As a bonus, I want to give a shout out to Roxanne Modafferi too, because she has her last MMA fight on the prelim. She announced for a few months ago that this fight will be her last fight in her MMA career. And she has been doing this for nearly 18 years now, and is a pioneer when it comes to female MMA. She has been fighting all around the world before she ended up in UFC. When she exits the octagon on Saturday night, it will be her 50th fight. Well, she will have 50 fights. So her career, well, I think it will be a good day and a good way to end the career for her. She has been doing this for so long, and she has nothing more to prove. And I also think that capturing the belt, it's a new generation of fighters now, and I think she has a very, very slim chance to capture the belt, but she can go to retirement now and be happy with what she have done in the sport so far. Well, she will also be fighting Casey O'Neill, which is 18-0, which means she's a up and comer. Roxy is 25-19. Kind of it's a decent record. I do think O'Neill has a bigger chance to take this. I hope that Roxy at least can get a good fight out of it and make it a good farewell fight for her to end, to put a cap on her career. For me, Roxy have been, I followed her since Ultimate Fighter, and what's always why I always have liked her is because of her attitude. She is always happy. She always have good energy, and I really like to see. Yeah, she always seemed like a happy and funny person, and she also goes by the nickname Happy Warrior, which is a really good nickname for her. So I hope that she can take this fight and go out on a win. Her biggest win in her career this far, I would say, is against Macy Barber, which most thought that she would lose badly against her, because Barber was on a winning streak, and people thought of her as the next new champion, and even that she would become the youngest champion in UFC. And Roxy seemed like just a stepping stone, a small stepping stone even. But what happened was that Roxy controlled the fight on the ground in the even standing and took the fight by unanimous decision. Barber did hurt her knee, but at the same time it was because of Roxy. So yeah, that fight might be her biggest fight in her whole career, and also one of UFC's, I dare to say, biggest upsets, because the odds of that fight must have been crazy. I hope now that she can have a good fight, hopefully win, but I think that O'Neill will take this. Though I'm happy if Roxy can go out on a good note with a good fight, and in that I will wish her good luck with whatever she's doing in retirement. I heard she was to concentrate on grappling, and that would be a good thing for her, I think. Grappling is a lot less taxing on your health, so I think that would be a good option for her. And with her attitude and her energy, I think there might be other opportunities for her, maybe in UFC too, who knows. So we'll see. Well, enough of me rambling. I will try to make a video after the event to break down how my predictions went. Last time it didn't go so well, so we'll see next time. And as always, if you like the channel and like this type of videos, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, and until next time,